Woo! Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. We got a good one for you tonight. Thank you so much for taking your Thursday night and spending with us. I know we've been away for a tad, but we're back. And, well, what a better way to kick it off than with guests here live in the studio or install bay, depending on how you want to look at it. We have two guests here today. We have Mr. Larry Penn of MSC, actually the owner, but we'll find out more about that, and his loyal servant. No. Dustin.
That's what I am.
I know. Right.
Red Bull supplier.
Red Bull supplier.
Yeah.
Tonight we're going to talk to you about a slew of products that they represent. Most importantly, the ones that I know you all have tuned in for, which is Helix, which is got to be the biggest dog on the block as far as.
Yeah, it's when we started this project 4 years ago, we had no idea what the growth potential was, and we're having a blast with this.
So we're going to find out tonight some new products. We're going to give you a little bit of history lesson. We're just going to take a deep dive into that. And, of course, we'll try to intermix some of the other brands if we have time. But we want you guys to sit back, relax, and enjoy what we're about to drop on you because it's going to be a lot of fun. Would you agree, Fernando?
Oh, definitely.
Fernando's out of frame. He's going to be working the Fernando cam because as you can kind of see over Larry's shoulder there are some products on the counter. I know you got to.
It's reversed.
We still haven't got used to that. We've been doing it a long time. So we're going to show you some of the products, talk to you about some new stuff that's coming out. New stuff, guys. Who gets excited? That's right, I do. So let's hop right in. Let's talk to Larry, and let's get a little bit of history about what MSC stands for and where you are and why you're who you are. I don't know. It's always confusing, but let's go from there.
Well, as far as the history of MSC, it started for me way back because this is all I've ever done is mobile electronics.
Yes.
I was a little kid. My dad was a mechanic all his life, and he built audio systems. He built home audio speakers. Still remember a beautiful Tannoy 15-inch concentric driver cabinet, folded corner horn, matching teak, and he matched all the grain and all that stuff in it, and building amp racks on the kitchen table and building Heathkit amplifiers on the table. So the other kids were out throwing the baseball around or fishing, working on cars and having fun that way. So it's all I've ever done. And I worked in my local audio store in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada, population 60,000. And swept the floor and ran wires and cars for the techs. And then embarked on my career, sales, installation, store manager.
All right, so try that. Audio died. I think we might have hit a button. All right, hold on a second. Let's let it buffer in. Fernando, you're listening?
All right, you're back.
I'm back. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know how that happened. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, no sound, start over.
No sound, start over.
We're not going to start over. However, we'll pick it up from
where we left off.
Alberta, Canada.
Alberta, Canada, yeah. So the last 14 years of my life, after being a sales rep and store owner and all over the place in Canada, I took a position with a very familiar company out of Europe. For 14 years, I did all of their
Well, I love how
training.
you said that,
Hey,
which is where I met you for the first time.
Yes, absolutely.
Which was a great training, by the way.
Yeah, so I took care of Canada, U.S., Mexico, Australia, and I was the token fat little white boy that spoke English that they sent around the world. So I was in Dubai and Germany and China and all over the place. So learned a lot, had a lot of experience there. We also have a proof of concept retail store in Calgary, Alberta, called Mobile Solutions of Calgary. And that really is a proving ground where we assist Audiotec Fischer in product development, because we beta test everything, kind of using our local Canadian clientele as the guinea pigs and test mules. And usually we're right, but when we make a mistake, we know what not to do with the products. And that's really helped them adapt themselves to the North American market, and it's helped us develop a better product for our dealers.
No, you kind of downplay, I think, the whole Mobile Solutions of Calgary just a tad. You made it sound like it's just like a one car, nothingness store. And if you guys, isn't it Mobile Solutions of Calgary on Instagram?
MobileSolutionsCalgary.com.
Check it out for sure, because, and if you're in Canada, it's worth the drive. I mean, there's a lot of great guys in Canada for sure, but dude, your store is anything but a proving ground. Yeah, it is. I mean, wow. Anyways, moving on. We won't get caught up on that.
Yeah.
So fast forward now to MSC, which actually, if you put the Mobile Solutions.
So I'll give you a quick little rundown on that. Originally, Jason and I, Jason Digos, he used to work with Rockford in the RTTI department with Brad Schmidt. So he's got technical background. Everybody in our company is fluent in our industry. We have all of our techs at the store that can answer questions. Our reps have worked retail, and that's really one of the big things for us. If you're a dealer watching this, we understand what you guys go through on a daily basis, because we're going through the same thing. Right. So that's one of the big things. So Jason and I had an opportunity just a little over 4.5 years ago now to fly to Germany. And I worked with Jason at the other place that I worked at before this. Jason and I flew over to Germany with Chris Van Rij, kind of my right-hand dude in the Canadian office. Not kind of, he is. We've nicknamed him now. This is official Chris Van Rij name. He's the DSP Cowboy. That's what we're calling him.
Okay.
All right.
Does that all fit on a business card?
So it's Chris at MSC-America.com. If you do me a favor and send him a little DSP Cowboy, we heard about you last night, that would be totally funny. So what are you going to put that up?
No, okay. I'm just going to put this up for now.
So it's Chris at MSC-America.com, DSP Cowboy. You know what? Let's do this. For anybody that does that, when I get back to the office, I'm going to let Chris judge on what the best meme was for that.
Okay.
And we're going to give you a DSP Mini. How does that sound?
All right. Well, now I feel like we almost have to make it a banner. All right. Better type that one in. All right.
I'm going to type it in.
Type that one in.
Put my old man glasses on.
All right. So while he's doing that, Dustin, what is your job at MSC?
So I primarily go around to dealers and offer my retail experience to them and help them with whatever it is that they need in order to be successful. Anything from product training to basically how to run their store. If they're having issues with that, that's what I do.
Cool. So, and you're ours.
And I'm yours. And I'm in forever.
Dustin's based out of Atlanta, so he kind of covers the East Coast for us. And then 2 new additions to our team released this week was John Covenants. He was the president and owner of Handcrafted Car Audio, former retailer of the year, former installer of the year. And he joins us now to aid in our training and also our Systems by MSC vehicle-specific kit development. And along with that, we brought on Nick Edmonds, who was his senior tech for 8 or 9 years at Handcrafted. Wow. So we're super stoked to have those guys join us. They joined the team August 9th, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we're excited. We're growing.
That's cool.
So I forgot where we were.
It doesn't matter.
The stunning facility.
No, we were just doing an eye over.
Yeah. So, I know where we were. Okay. Jason and I flew to Germany.
Yes.
That's where we're going. And Audiotec Fischer is a roughly, we'll just say 30-year-old company. based in Schmallenberg, Germany, right next door to the largest, best sock factory in the world. Just a little bit of trivia there for you.
That's good to know.
So if you need socks, fly to Schmallenberg. It's right there.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. It's a little.
Remember, email this DSP Cowboy.
Yeah. DSP Cowboy, Chris at MSC America on the banner below, with the best meme of what you would define a DSP Cowboy to look like. When I get back on Monday, I will evaluate that with Chris, and we'll pick the winner. Please include your contact information on there, and we'll send out a DSP Mini to you for your trebles. So
wow.
We like to have fun.
So
gotta have fun.
For those of you guys, just do that like right now. Don't pretend. Just do it right now.
Chris will probably be at home and his phone will be blowing up. Bling, bling,
come back
bling,
to it.
Oh my God! Yeah.
So you're gonna be back Monday.
Yes.
So we'll let this, because there'll be people who watch it after the fact. So we'll give them until
Wednesday?
Sunday night.
Oh, Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday night. So you got till Sunday night, because we'll be back, and there's some dime dips. So you got till Sunday night, midnight. This coming Sunday night. So that is, the calendar is going to be 17th. So on the 17th, if you're watching this and it's past the 17th, do not enter. But if you are watching it and it's not the 17th, please feel free to enter. Move on. Okay. So you and Jason get a nice pair of socks in Germany.
We didn't go to the sock factory, but we got that information. But we toured Audiotec Fischer, and what a lot of people don't know about that company, and I didn't know, even being in the industry forever that I have been, is that their 50% of their work is done in the OEM world, and not a branded OEM product.
Right.
But we do work for Volkswagen, we do work for Volvo, we do work for Prevost, and a bunch of other stuff that is completely out of the aftermarket car audio world. And one thing that we learned is there is a different spec between consumer electronics grade product and automotive grade product. And because we're ISO certified, every part that comes into our building, we evaluate, make sure it's the right part, and everything is cataloged. So if we get a bad batch of capacitors from a supplier, we batch those, and we know every serial number amplifier that used that part.
Oh, good God.
So if something goes wrong, we can say, okay, recall all these, because they're going to have the problem. So when we're dealing with the OEMs of the world, it's failures per million, not failures per 100.
Right.
That they will accept. So when we do aftermarket stuff, it's like, why change our standards? Let's just build that. And one of the important things with that is our DSP chipsets. They're designed to work, and I could be off a couple degrees, but minus 30 Celsius, minus 30 or minus 40 to like plus 50 or 60. That's hot. So plus 60 is 120, 150 degrees, 180 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere around there. And in the winters in Canada, we don't have to worry about the DSP not turning on and telling the client, hey, you just got to wait till it warms up. Because in their factory system, no matter what the weather is, they turn it on and it works. So we don't want to have to explain shortcomings to people about their product.
Well, since we're deviating real quick, talking about factory systems, stop-start is something that is obviously on the forefront coming out. And can we talk about that a little bit?
Sure.
About your products and that feature?
Yeah. So all of our DSP-based amplifiers, and we'll go through those a little later, and our processors, actually anything with a power supply, is designed to work down to 6 volts for up to 5 seconds. And we use, in our amplifier side, in our processed amplifiers, we use a step-up power supply rather than a push-pulse power supply. So tightly regulated. Because today's cars aren't 12 volts at rest and 14.4 or 14.6 while they're running. They're all over the place. So we wanted to build a power supply that was completely stable. Let the amplifier, like our 12-channel, is rated at 75 times 12. So that's all channels driven at whatever voltage you're running into it. It's 75 by 12, all channels driven.
Very cool.
So power supply technology is, again, hugely important, because in today's cars, there is not one push-pull power supply in any electronic component in a car. So why would we want to use technology that's decades old in our amplifiers, in our aftermarket amplifiers? It just doesn't work. So when we were looking at old amplifiers or a typical switching amplifier, typical switching Class D amplifier, maybe 60, 70, 80% efficient. Some of our amplifiers are hovering around 95 dB, 95% efficient.
Wow.
So big difference in the power supply technology.
Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. Sorry to sidejag there, but I
No.
thought that was a relevant thing.
Yeah.
So you guys go there, you fall in love
Yes.
with the brand, not Jason.
I'm in love with Jason.
I know,
too.
I know.
He's got the dad bod. We'll
Oh,
go there.
jeez.
There you go. We both got that.
Um,
His is a little nicer than mine, but that's okay.
I'm gonna sidejag real quick. Is there a dealer locator on the website?
There is. If you
All right,
go
so
to
Let me
mscamerica.com.
switch back that here. Hold on one second, guys. I will put this back up. I'll put that back up at the end if you guys forgot. All right, so there we go. So go to this website and you can find a dealer near you. For those of you guys asking in the comments.
So we are a distributor for Brax, Helix, and Match, which are all the Audiotec Fischer brands. We also do Blam audio speakers. That's Guy Bonni's product out of France, and Stinger Radar out of the Netherlands. And when you go to the dealer locator and you pick the dealer, it'll show what products that dealer represents. And we also do state-of-the-art in-store displays, and it will tell you if that dealer has our display as well. So, yeah.
So had my laptop. I just got the website right there, so you guys can see it.
Yeah, there
This
you
is
go.
all the brands that they carry, and the dealer locator. It's all the way in the corner right there.
Very good. Thank you, Fernando. And we'll come back.
Yeah. So, anyways, we were going to be there for 3 days as an experiment. I mean, I had a lot of projects on the go already, and Jason had left his previous post and had a very successful, rep firm. Sorry, Red Bull time.
Yep.
Had a very successful rep firm in Arizona, and we decided, we're young, let's go all in. So I came home from Germany. The second day we were there, we sat down at the boardroom table, and again, this was just who are these guys
Right.
on both sides of the table. Second day, we sit down at the boardroom table, and everybody just kind of looks at each other. Let's make this work. Let's get her done. So we shook hands, and I came home, and my wife, Sue, she works with me at the office. She runs the retail store. I like to say I create all the shit. She goes and cleans it all up.
Makes sense.
Everybody needs that. And I said to her, I've made a decision. And she goes, what's going on? So I'm 56. I know I look 25, but I'm 56. And I said, we're going to go all in, and we're going to create this North American distribution company with this brand in North America that's never had a ton of success. But I really do believe in this.
I'm glad you said it's never had a ton of success, because you guys weren't the first people to have
No.
it. And one of the things I commend you guys on is that, yes, you've had a ton of success with it, where everybody else who's had this, and it's not like it hasn't been big names that have had it, just
Correct.
we're not able to do anything with it.
Yeah.
But you guys got it immediately. It turned into wildfire. I
Yeah.
mean, in Europe, it's amazing. Like I tell everyone, like when we were there at Emma, 95% of the cars there, both SQ and SPL, were all running Helix DSPs.
You guys were at the Media World show, weren't you?
Yeah, we were at
Just
the
a couple months ago.
Yeah, Emma. Yeah, yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, in Europe we have.
I ran into Julian and the family in the airport.
Oh,
in
did you?
Germany. Yeah.
Cool.
We were like, oh, hey, yeah, it was funny. Anyways, yeah.
So yeah, it's funny you say that. Just to touch on that a little bit, Audiotec Fischer was started by Heinz and Gudrun Fischer. Heinz was a home audio freak, an amplifier designer, musician. He played in numerous bands throughout his life. He's a pretty wild and crazy guy in his younger years. And then his friends were building car audio systems, and he was looking at the amplifiers and looking at the power supply in these amplifiers, and just kind of chuckled. He said, this is never going to work. You can't get fidelity out of these things because you don't have a power supply. So that's when he introduced the Brax Cap, the big ass first big real capacitor available.
Oh, wow.
And it was a lot of money, but it did what it was supposed to do, as well as cleaning up AC ripple and all those other things. It helped stabilize the power supply. And then he built the first Brax amplifier and toured around all the shows, including CES in Vegas. And that got the world talking about it. And it's been growing. And in Europe and Asia, super successful. But here, for whatever reason, and we don't know why, because when we looked at the product, and went, seriously, all the things that this does, and nobody can be successful with it. It's not the product's fault. So
no.
let's go. So after my wife picked herself up off the floor and kicked me in the ass, we went for it. And here we are today, 4.5 years later. And we are very close to the top spot for distribution in the US for Audiotec Fischer. And we're number 1 for BLAM in the world. So we're pretty happy. What comments are we getting?
No, Lance. Mr. Lance
Who invited
Dobbs.
the whole school?
You know, Lance.
Yeah. Thanks, Lance.
All right.
Before you go, somebody asked if the contest is just worldwide. Somebody's watching from Sweden, and they want to know.
I think it has to be North America.
North America.
Right?
Oh yeah, the contest is sorry.
All right.
Sorry. Yes.
Sorry.
North America. Sorry.
But thank you for watching, guys.
Is only available.
But thank you for watching from Sweden, dude. I love Sweden.
Sweden.
Those guys
Sweden's
are great.
I'm driving a Volvo rental car for the week.
Or at Emma, I hung out with the guys from Sweden because they were like the coolest dudes ever. Man.
Yeah, they're fun.
Oh man, dude, and they love. Dude, one guy had a Brax system in his car, like the big Brax. Yeah. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, kind of like the one you just finished.
Bigger, the big square ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What?
Right there.
Who's the?
That's the
Who's
that's
the
bodyguard.
In the background.
That's the bodyguard.
Don't screw around with me, Lance. He's gonna take care of you.
I protect the old school guy.
Yeah.
MSC also has bodyguards.
Ada says hello.
Hello, Ada.
All right, let's hop into the stuff here on the laptop because I want to get these guys excited about this. So we're gonna head over to Larry's laptop here, and we're gonna talk about some new stuff. So we're kind of giving you the history of. Let me shut this off.
Yep.
So I'm working on it. Sorry, Fernando. Fernando's not over here clicking buttons for me. All right, so let's dig deep into this. We have, like I said, we have a PowerPoint, and we also have some products over here that we're going to show you.
Yeah.
So let's start banging away.
So one of the most important things and the most prestigious thing to the Fischer family is that Made in Germany logo that's on every PC board. So every amplifier, well, let me rephrase, every DSP and 95% of our amplifiers that we build are all designed, engineered, and built in Germany.
Okay.
Our entry-level M series in the Helix line that is built offshore. That we also have that series with the DSP in it, but the DSP is built in Germany, shipped to China. They put it in, just assemble it. Then they come back to Germany, and we do 100% QC on those amplifiers through the Audio Precision Analyzer to make sure they're meeting spec. And that's the Audio Precision Analyzer. Every product that comes out of the office, every product, not 10%, not 20%, every amplifier, every processor has, I think it's a 20 or 30 page report on specs for the product.
You know, and that's the nice thing. I feel more and more people are finally starting to understand what the audio precision is, as opposed to, let's say, the generic amp dyno that we have. But, you know, the audio precision can really dig deep into all the aspects of the amplifier. That is always when we go into, every time we go to a vendor, they're always like, all right, come on, let's go over to the audio precision room. It's like, all right, yeah, show us this. So that's cool that they do that for all their pieces of equipment.
So one of the other things that impressed us on the trip is we went into the engineering office, and we're introduced to the analog engineer guy, we're introduced to the digital hardware guy, and we're introduced to the digital software guy, the guy that does the DSP tool.
That's
software.
the young guy.
Yeah, that's the young guy. Florian.
I met him.
Yeah, Florian is awesome.
I told him to get back to work. I was like, dude, why are you here? Get back to work. Why'd they let? And I was like to Julian, I said, why'd you let him out? Because the software wasn't out. It wasn't available yet. So
yeah.
I was like, he's like, it's almost ready. I'm like, picture a German accent.
Get back to work.
I said, get back to work.
So the cool part of that is, as software is being released and we try it, because we beta test it first and we find a little error, I've never had it take more than a couple days to fix that error, because the digital hardware guy goes, hey, dude, this is your problem, fix it. And all these guys are on our payroll. Yeah. So, and I'm not aware, I could be wrong, but I'm not aware of any other company that has that facility inside their office with hardware, software.
I know a couple.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
then that's good.
No, a
But
lot of
those
the,
guys
well, see, a
develop-
lot of the companies are going to that though.
Yeah. Well, you have
The
to.
branded companies are
Yeah.
going to that.
You have to.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of companies that do it where they have different people in different parts of the world that work with the company. But
I don't know any of those.
Not in the same box.
No,
Same box.
but that's important because even on like if something comes back,
Yes.
you know, you're able to evaluate, you know, because the guy fixing it can evaluate what caused it. He can go to the engineer and say, hey, we're seeing this as the problem. They can immediately fix it and or figure out why, go back to the drawing board and then produce a change.
They do that even with product that fails in the market. We air freight that back right to Germany.
Right.
They put it back to original spec so they can investigate why it happened.
Yeah.
Fix it back to original spec, make sure it meets spec, and send it back to us, air freight it back to us for any service issues.
At least it's only going from Canada to Germany. All right, let's dig deep into the PowerPoint.
So yeah, just a quick little shot of the company. 10 years, 12 ICE awards. So the ICE award is a bunch of European magazines get together and they run tons and tons of tests and reviews on products. And then they issue different categories, best DSP, best amplifier, best speakers. And we won 12 ICE awards in 10 years. So we're super proud of that. As we discussed, we're OEM supplier to Volkswagen, Volvo, and other people. Talked about our in-house design and engineering. We are a developmental partner for Texas Instruments.
Oh, really?
So TI, recent project, they were building a new chipset. They gave it to us to build the amplifier section for it. So it was a collaboration to see if this was going to work.
Oh, very cool.
They want it to work. And if you go on AKM's website, that's the A2D and D2A company, we are, other than the big guys like Pioneer, Sony that build car audio equipment, we're the only car audio only company that is a Velvet Sound partner to AKM.
Wow.
So
how did you guys have chips when they burned to the ground?
we waited patiently.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so they're back shipping. We're getting the chipsets now.
That's
so.
the other one. We keep that board that I showed you earlier.
Oh yes,
There's a bunch of AKM chips on it.
Why
This is worth money.
Yeah, you could have stripped those out. You probably could have sold the
good
parts.
God. Yeah.
And we talked about the automotive specification for temperature and things like that. So our DSP, our outboard DSP, that's what we started with and made us famous, was our outboard DSP. And DSP Ultra was released about a year and a half ago. We also have the DSP 0.3S, DSP Mini Mark II, and then one of them is missing, and that's the DSP Pro, because we have been redesigning that for the past, we've been out of the regular DSP Pro Mark II for about 6 or 8 months, because we're happy to announce that at the end of this month, we will be shipping the new DSP Pro Mark III.
New product alert.
Yeah.
New product alert.
So 8 channels in, 10 channels out, 32-bit 96K processing, and we're using the same processor section that we're using in the Ultra. So we're using two DSP chipsets to handle all the things that this thing does.
Jeez.
So complete PC Tool V5 software suite. So we've got Real Center, we've got bass restoration, we got the center channel, or sorry, I've already mentioned that center channel processing. Tune EQ, which is a new feature we'll talk about here in a bit. And that's using the AKM Velvet Sound A2D and D2A.
What a name. Velvet
Velvet
Sound.
Sound.
I mean,
smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth. Just pet me.
Oh my gosh.
And then a new feature, we've added Toslink and coax digital input to it. And then amplified DSP, that's been kind of our growth area in the last few years. The M series is that product that I was telling you about that's built offshore with a German-made DSP. We have a 4-channel and a 6-channel in that line with 10-channel DSP built in.
Which is really cool if you think about it for a minute. So a lot of guys, when they're looking at multi-channel amplifiers with DSPs built in them, you always hit a wall because it's usually like a 4 to 6 or a 6 to 8.
Yes.
So to have a 10, that's a lot of output to go off to do. So if you're using, tweeter mid bass, and you have to decide now, do I do rear or sub?
Yeah.
That's no longer a question.
There's no decisions.
You can do both.
Yeah.
Or you can do center and sub, or actually you can do center and sub and rear because they're
Yes,
they're
because you have
selectable.
enough.
Yeah.
everything is routable to do exactly what you want it
Which
to
is
do.
really cool. So they're
And-
not pairs.
Yeah, all of our products is the same feature set with the same software.
Which is the best.
Yeah, so you don't have to relearn what you're doing. The M series has the real center up mixer. It has the all pass filters. It has bass restoration. It has all that stuff built into it as well. And then we get into, I'm going to talk about the V series, and if we can switch to the other camera, because
Yep.
we bought the V12 with us.
Oh, dude, I love how small this thing is. All right, let me switch over here to Fernando. And that's 4. Oh,
Yeah.
I was on it. Sorry.
So there's the V12. There's the size of my hand, and I'm just a little guy. So that'll give you an idea of how big it is.
All right, hold on. We'll do the
Oh, we're going
iPhone.
to do the classic iPhone comparison.
Yep. So there's your Pro
Perfect.
Max.
So this guy is 75 watts by 12. And a couple of the cool feature sets we've got in it is
There
we
you go,
have
Fernando.
one-to-one channel routing. So
Back up
if-
just a little bit. There you
There
go.
we go.
Perfect right there.
So that's the output side, and we feature 2 channels of line out. So it's a 14 channel DSP. And if we flip it around to the input side, we also have 6 channels of low level and then 12 channels of high level input. Why do we do 12 channels? Is if you have a vehicle that preamp module is not available for it, you can now do one-to-one channel routing. And that's a whole nother discussion, but you don't have to get rid of the factory all pass filters and up mixing. You can just do one-to-one, give it some more power, give it some equalization, and away you go.
Yeah, it's funny you mention that because we're getting ready to do a Colorado, and that's the amplifier we're going to do that because it has the DSP in it.
Yeah.
And that particular sound system in that is phenomenal. Like it sounds really good as far as positioning goes. It just
doesn't
sounds
matter.
bad because it's so it's going to get that and a Blam set of Blam speakers all the way around.
Awesome.
But one of the reasons why we chose that was because the 12 channel in.
Yep.
There again, that's another one of the issues that you run into is you have a 10 channel DSP, but you have no inputs.
Yes.
It's like, oh, we got 6 inputs. Oh, great.
Yeah, so that's direct one-to-one channel routing.
And yes, we do have those in stock.
Call now. Operator
Call now.
standing by. So if we go back to the laptop.
Yep, sorry. I'm going to go back to 5. All right.
So that's our V series. We do a V8 and a V12. Both of those are 75 watts by 12 or 75 watts by 8. We have little expansion cards that can slide into the amplifier and give you aptX HD compatible Bluetooth streaming or direct digital USB input for those that are running a high resolution DAP player, FiO or a Stellan Kerner, the Sony pieces. And that automatically switches. So the client gets in his car, hits the play button on his A&K player, and it automatically switches over. If the car gets a nav prompt from the factory audio system or backup beepers or whatever, the amplifier switches over to that input. And when that sound is gone, switches back over to the DAP all by itself. And in the software is adjustable attack and delay time for that. So you can adjust the sensitivity level that causes it to switch and then how long it waits till it doesn't see a signal before it switches back.
That is so
So
cool.
we don't want to have our clients have to have a science project or a 10-page manual of how to operate their audio system.
Come on, we all love that.
Yeah. And then we get into our P series. The P series has been super, super special for us. The P6, which was introduced in 2015, I think. That's been our #1 selling product, our most awarded product. It's won ISO awards and magazine awards in Japan and all over the place for years and years and years. And now we're about to drop the bomb at the end of the month because now we have the P6 Ultimate. So
I love when they
Ultimate,
put
Ultimate. And we didn't go with Mark III or Mark IV on
just
this
said
because
ultimate.
it is the best that we can do with the knowledge that we currently have. And that'll be the end of the run for this platform because we have some crazy ideas that we're thinking about for future stuff, but this is the best this is going to get.
Okay.
So compared, those of you who have our original P6, which is a great amplifier, I can tell you not one part or any of the PCB stuff is shared between the old one and the new one. The only thing that's the same is the P6 DSP name. It's completely redone.
So what you're trying to say is if you have the old one, start saving for the new one?
Yeah. Operators are standing by now.
Yeah. When's it ship?
End of the month.
There you go. You got time?
Yeah, so we're using the twin DSP concept from the Ultra and the DSP Pro 0.3 that we talked about earlier. It's basically the DSP Pro 0.3 installed in here. That's how it was put together. So everything has been redesigned. The amplifier section, it's making 10% more power than the old one. THD has been reduced, dampening factor has been increased. It's just everything the best that we could possibly do.
So the only thing it shares is kind of the name and the black heatsink.
And it's the same size.
There you go.
Yeah, 11 by 11, I think, something like that. And then we've made its companion amplifiers, the P2 and the P1. We've given that the Mark II designation, and those have been completely upgraded as well. So these amplifiers, let's say, I can't remember, let's call it 11 or 12 inches wide. So in 36 inches of width, you can have 120 by 6 fed into the P2 via Toslink digital output into the P2 at 500 watts by 2 for a set of mid bass, and then analog out of the P6 into a 1500 watt monoblock. And if you really got to have bass at 8 the earth, you have another set of outputs that you can feed into another P1 and have 3000 watts on your subsection. So
just to back up a little bit, because we kind of glazed over the one where you said out of the 6 Toslink into the 2.
Yeah, so the P6 has a 12-channel DSP. So it's six of those 12 channels are used for the built-in power, and then we have 6 channels of output. 4 of those are done by the way of the regular old analog RCA outputs, and the other is a single Toslink. Do you have a Toslink cable here? Maybe.
Yeah. Hold on. Nope. It's in the Toslink test kit. There you go.
So Toslink cable here. So that would run from the P6 to the P2. No RCA is required. So it makes it simple to understand and simple to use. And Nick had a good question. Why are the amps not bridgeable? And that's a very good question. So our amplifier outputs are basically bridged internally already. That's how we can get 1,000 watts into that size of heatsink. 12 channels plus a 14-channel DSP.
So it's actually 24 channels now that they're bridging.
Right, because we're bridging internally. So when we get into system design, we create this little catalog.
Put it on the table there. Fernando
okay,
can zoom
let
in
me just open it up so that we can do a V12 presentation here.
Zoom over there to Fernando's page.
So this is a concept for V12. So we've got center channel, we've got 2-way active front stage, we've got 2-way rear fill, and then using 2 dual 2-ohm subwoofers, we now have 160 watts into each coil. So we have 630 watts, 640 watts in your subsection, all off of one amplifier, while the rest of the speakers get 75 watts per channel.
Which is pretty exciting.
Yeah. And
I think where a lot of people get kind of confused on the pre-bridge part is because most amplifiers, when you bridge them, can only do 4 ohm, but yours are bridging down to 2 ohm.
Correct.
So
all of our outputs will handle 2 ohm final impedance. So you have to think out of the box when we're designing this stuff, just like we thought out of the box when we built it. So, you know, we get a lot of people, you guys need a 5-channel amplifier from our dealers. We have a 5-channel amplifier. It's called the P6.
Exactly.
Because if you use a dual 2-ohm subwoofer, that is now 250 watts into each coil of a 10-inch subwoofer, 500 watts. So do we need to make it bridgeable? You know, that's the question. So we give you more opportunity because that 5-channel, that's all it can be used is in 5-channel.
Right.
Whereas the P6 can be used for anything. And if you need to add a subwoofer to it, just use a dual 2-ohm subwoofer.
Well, yeah, and you can do 1 sub in a center.
Yes.
There again, the channels are, you can do anything you want with each channel.
Totally configurable. So hopefully that helped Nick with the explanation.
All right,
also, I think Nick had another question. They probably missed that in the chat. If you can type it again, Larry's here to answer your question.
All right, let's go back to the PowerPoint. So we got the P2 and we got the P1. We can do digital into the P2.
Yeah.
Is that all right? The P1 is that strictly sub?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a Class D
it's
sub amp, or is it Class D full range?
I have to clarify that with Germany. The old one was full range.
Okay, so we don't know yet.
So I don't know. I'm sure it is, but I'd have to clarify that. I don't want to say something that is not correct.
Understand.
I haven't played with that one yet.
What the heck?
I know.
Waiting for our samples.
That's right. And then we get into the new Up 8 DSP. So this replaces the ultra successful Up 7 DSP. So this gives us 65 watts times 6, and then 160 watts times 2.
And these are my favorite. These are hands down one of the reasons why I wanted to carry this was because these are just the coolest things in the world. And that's the Up 10. So that's a 10 channel.
Yeah. So this is the 10 channel version of that. So there's my hand. So,
yeah, I know.
Yeah. Let's get on it.
I'm working on it.
So that's 65 times 8 with 160 watt by 2. Still features the optical input, digital input, and has the line out to feed into the subwoofer. So it's an 11 channel DSP built into it. Has the control port. Where are we? It's backwards again. There it is. The SCP control port. So this plugs into our conductor, which is our fancy control knob. I can't know if you can see the LEDs on there. Yeah, there we go.
Follow.
Okay. So that controls master volume, sub-level volume, Bluetooth volume, Bluetooth control for track up, track down, basically anything you want it to do. And that we've seen some pretty radical installs with that little guy placed in.
And you can change the colors to denote what it's doing.
Any function can have its own color to match the dash and everything. I just want to look at Nick's question here.
Yep.
Do all the channels need to be driven? You may want to explain what that means. Nick, you should, what are you doing, man? We should hire you. No, all channels don't need to be driven. If we look at the Up 7, for instance, that we've been using for years, that's the best 4-channel DSP amplifier made. And we use it all the time, 4-channel, specifically in supercars, specifically Lamborghinis with the Huracan and the Aventador, because it's small, it fits in there, and it delivers 160 watts to the 8-inch in the door and 75 watts to the tweeters in the dash. And we have 3 channels not being used. So when I talked about that power sharing, or did we talk about power sharing?
No,
I don't think we
we
did.
didn't talk about power sharing.
So let's go back to the V12.
Yep.
Flip it around the right way. This amplifier, the power supply in here is designed for 1,000 watts. So no matter how you configure it, it's 1,000 watts. So if you're doing a big boat, let's say a yacht thing, and there's 12 speakers, and you drive all channels driven with this amplifier, it's 75 watts times 12. But in a typical active system where we've got a 3-way speaker system in the front door, we're using tweeter, mid-range woofer, that tweeter is not going to use the full 75 watts, maybe 15 watts.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, and the mid-range, maybe 35 watts. And the 6 or 8 in the door, maybe all of it. So what happens with our power supply is it will say, okay, and I'm just speaking loose terms, we can get technical some other night, but it will take the power that those channels would have used in all channels driven mode and share the power with the output devices, because the output devices are designed for up to 160 watts. So if we cut that back in an active system, that's where we get and use 4 channels on 2 2-ohm subwoofers. That's how we get the 630 watts in the subwoofer section.
And so that is, if you're not using a channel, then it'll just repurpose that output.
Absolutely. It'll take that current that channel's not using and say, dude, you're sleeping? We're going to go to another channel that's begging for current on the subwoofer or mid-bass or whatever.
So there you go.
So
pretty cool.
Oh.
Let's get up to John Doe here. Hello, fellas. Just had a Helix V12 DSP installed with the Blam speakers, T-spec wiring, and sound amazing. Keep up the great work. Oh, thank you, John.
5-star.
I didn't do it. All right.
So that's our Up 8. And this is the rest of our amplified DSP in the match line. We've got the Up 10 DSP, which is 8 in, 10 out. And you can also run another analog in. So another pair of analog in. So all of our amplifiers, if we switch over to that camera,
Yep.
we supply as an option what we call a mech analog in kit. So you pull off this end panel, we make a card that slides in here that will give you another set of high level inputs or low level. It goes from 300 millivolts to 30 volts of input. So you can run at low level or high level into there. So you can convert it to a 10 in, 10 out.
A 10 in, 10 out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we're going to, show that.
Yes. I remember back at Knowledge Fest, you had to listen to this. So.
Oh, yeah. That's incredible. All right.
There we go.
There you go. All right. Where's the amplifier?
Just leave it there.
Yeah, there's no.
It's just a phone.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So there's your 5-channel.
Here, let's put that in.
Oh, you had it
Oh,
right.
no, I had it right.
Yep. I
There we
know.
go. It's confusing.
I know.
So this little guy is 60 watts times 4 with 160 watt mono out with a 9-channel DSP. And then we make a companion to it that is the M2.1, which is 160 by 2 or 400 watt mono. And you could run 2 of those amplifiers or 4 of them if you wanted to bridge it all off the DSP section here. So you could have an amp rack that, what is this?
Tiny.
4 inches times 6. So in 24 inches, you could have lots of power.
Well, the other nice thing is about that is cool about this is that microamplifiers are very popular, but the number one selling microamplifier right now, it does you can't play with the DSP software, and it doesn't have a subsection. With this, it's 100%. You can do whatever you want with the DSP section of it because it's Helix, so you have all the Helix software to play with. The subsection, it's really made for about an 1/8.
Yes, it's not a blow the hat off your head.
No, but
I'll put on the sub, but you have a client that just wants a great audio upgrade in their car.
Yeah.
You dial in the DSP, you can make it sound better than anything they've had in their life before, and away you go. And it fits in the dash.
Yeah. So the cool thing is like you could do like just a basic front stage upgrade and a small sub. And then if they come back like I want more, you can grab the 2-channel and then keep the channels 1 and 2 on the tweeters, run the new amplifier for the mid bass in the door, add rear speakers if you want, or add a center channel.
Yes.
So
you heard this version.
Oh, yeah.
We had the C43, our demo car, Mercedes C43 at one of the Knowledge Fest shows.
We filmed that too. So
I know it's on your.
Yeah.
What website is there?
It's on the 5-star car stereo.
Yeah, so if you go to 5-star car stereo and look that up, you'll get Dean's opinion on it.
That was terrible. Oh my god, it was so bad. It was so bad. No, it was amazing.
Yeah. So if we go back to the laptop.
All right, let me go back. There we go.
And then we also do the PP86 and PP62. I won't get into all the boring details of power and everything, but to say that we have a full suite of amplifiers that'll let you do basically anything that you need to do in any system configuration that you need.
Now, one of the things we didn't touch on Match is that it is also designed to be plug and play.
Yes. So if you go to our website, there'll be a connection to Audiotec Fischer's website, and that will take you to the cable and accessory program because we make tons of harnesses that are direct plug and play for many, many cars. So using our up 10 DSP, we now can.
My website, my laptop.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's the harnesses on Audiotec Fischer's website, and we're now supplying. If you can go to the BMW one RAM, any of the RAM.
1.7.
Yeah, that'll be fine. So even in the brand new BMWs that are using the new RAM module, loosely speaking, is in the back quarter panel of the car, which used to be just the amplifier. BMW said, why do we put the amplifier there? Let's put the amplifier along with the Bluetooth chipset and the navigation prompts and backup beepers and everything is in that module now.
Oh,
so we can no longer just take that out.
Perfect.
So we make a harness. The black plugs that you see there plug into the car side. The white plug plugs directly into our up 10 DSP. You go visit our website, download the configuration file, and it automatically configures the amplifier with the download into the amp, and you're ready to go. Add your equalization, some salt and pepper, time alignment settings, and away you go.
There you go.
And then we also do that for the upgraded RAM system. So what they do in the HK cars now is they have the RAM module, and then via a proprietary bus, digital audio signal into a separate amplifier to drive the 8s under the floor, or under the seats of that car in the floor. We now have a plug-and-play harness that will get you into that as well. So along with all the new Mercedes M-Bucks products and
A lot of German cars. I wonder why.
Tesla.
Oh, yeah,
we're going to
Tesla
release
stuff.
the Tesla harness.
Yeah.
And then the other thing with Tesla, kind of letting the cat out of the bag a little early maybe, but we're working. Our step-up power supply allows us to make on-the-fly adjustments to that power supply. And we're working to see, it's not official, but we're working to see if we can upgrade with a flash software update to let it handle the 16 volt, 15.5, 15.6, 16 volt for the new Teslas on the power supply.
Yeah.
So you can't do that with an old dog push-pull power supply. So we're working on that. It's not official. Don't get too excited. Don't phone me up and say, where is it? Where is it? I'm just giving you.
Ship it.
And if you have any questions on that, phone the DSP cowboy, not me.
Yeah.
Then, of course, we have the Brax DSP, which is just our statement piece. That was a 7-year development that is still arguably the best. No, screw it. I'm just going to say it is the best DSP out there. We spent a lot of time in the design of this. Brax, that's where our company started. Nothing gets released with the Brax logo without Heinz's sign of approval on it. One dude in the factory builds this stuff. He's been with the company 25 or 26 years. And that's our statement piece. All of that is configurable. So you can either have analog inputs, digital inputs, Brax Cowboy. Yes, Mr. Jeff, the Brax Cowboy. So you can have analog input, analog out, digital out, combination of both. That'll take 2 of our expansion cards. So you can have both Bluetooth and digital USB input. And that is ordered specifically for the client. So you give us the order, it's built for that client. It comes in a beautiful wood crate with matching grain, all tongue and groove. It's just a beautiful, beautiful box. Even down to the box and packaging, it shows
And it comes with a shirt. Don't forget
and
the
it
shirt.
comes with a shirt and a certificate of ownership. Takes about 3 to 5 weeks to make that happen. And we're getting to the end of Brax DSP production because we only built so many of those parts. So those of you who have been thinking about this for a while, okay, beautiful. Can we put the camera?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, we already.
Yeah.
Box is empty, but you guys can see it.
So I don't know if you can see this on the camera. We'll bring it up.
Yep.
Yeah, you see how the grain is matched there? That's the lid. So this opens up, right? And the grain is matched because it comes from the same piece of wood, even on the sides. You can see how that's all matched up. That's the
And this is
line.
the box.
This is the box, yes. And the serial number is put on the box, and you open it up. Oh, they took all the goodies out. But
Sorry,
it comes
customer
with a
wanted them.
certificate of ownership and a T-shirt and all that nice stuff. But just look at the finish of that. Again, going back to my childhood and remembering those teak folded corner horn speaker design from my father, this reminds me of that. Just absolutely stunning. All of our Brax stuff comes in that box.
All of it,
All of
even
it.
down to the little
Tweeters.
cards that go
Yeah.
into the
The
modules.
analog
all,
input cards.
yeah,
all that
all
stuff.
come in little tiny boxes.
Yep. And Brax DSP, when you buy this product, is a lifetime warranty.
Is it?
So if you have any problems with that product, they have, because especially with Brax DSP, because the order sheet is sent in with the client's name, that is registered with Audiotec Fischer. And if there's ever any problems with that, high priority, fix it. And when we were at the factory, there was amplifiers there that are 15 years old that they were still fixing and sending back. and
Brett will be
upgrading.
happy.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. And then for those of you who have not played with this, is our new PC Tool version 5.
Ooh, which we're going to dive into here. So we're going to pull that up and let you guys see it.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about this. The big thing about PC Tool version 5.0 is our auto setup feature sets. And the big thing is the tuning queue. So if you want to pull that off for a second,
Yeah,
I'll just switch over. Sorry, guys. We'll do this quick.
Do you have their website up?
Uh,
Brax or Helix.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Pull it. All right, let's go back to here for a second. So our brands there on the top. If you click on that, you can go off to Helix, and you can download the software to play with on your Windows-based computer. You don't have to actually have a product plugged in.
mhm.
So make sure to head over there.
This is our website. That's not there. It's the Audiotec Fischer website.
This is the
Yeah.
website.
Yeah. So if you go to tools, DSP PC Tool. Yeah. And there's the box you would click and you can download the software.
Yep. So if you would like to play with it after what we show you tonight, definitely do it. Let's head back over to the laptop.
Yeah. So we'll just take the V12 DSP.
Oh, just take the biggest one.
Yeah. We'll load this up. So this is the most
Oh, not that one.
often asked question about our new software and new hardware, and that's our virtual channel processing. And I'm not going to dive deep in that tonight because that's a whole other
we don't have that kind of
conversation. But loosely speaking, think of DSP, think of the virtual channel processing is like a crossover that's directing the input signals to the output signals. And the benefit from a tuning process is that after you've set time alignment and everything else on the front three-way component kit, that is grouped together as the front speakers. And when you go in and do equalization and adjustment, especially around the crossover points, it's not affecting the phase relationship between the two drivers in that area because it's doing it as a complete full range signal to the front speakers.
Oh, very
So
cool.
it's a very, very neat process that they talked about with that. So that's the biggest. So I'm just going to do yes on here. And then we'll choose it. Wants to make sure that you know what you're doing with it. But I'm going to jump right into the RTA section because this is the biggest changes with the RTA and how we do auto EQ. So before we jump into auto EQ, one of the other automated measurement systems that we have is our ATM, automatic time measurement. So when you take our microphone, which we have here, so when you take our microphone, you put this in the seat, kind of where the center of your head would be, and you hold it, make a mount for it securely, and then you measure the distance from the microphone tip to the front left low range speaker. That's the first step. Then you hop out and you start the automatic time measurement system, and it's taking impulse response measurements from every speaker in the car of how you got it set up. So instead of measuring distance, an impulse response is we're going to ping that speaker. Because you've entered that first distance, the system knows what it should take to get back to it. And if it takes longer, then it's going to delay the first speaker you measured. If it's shorter, it's going to delay the speaker that was popped, if you will. So now we're getting an actual impulse response measurement from the speakers and set it up. Now, one of the things it's not successful with, because in a car audio system, especially if it's a trunk, it's hard to measure the subwoofer because it's not getting the direct wave of the subwoofer. So we typically just eliminate the subwoofer and do the time alignment of that separately. So that's the ATM. Now the cool thing is this is all you need because all of the measurement equipment is built in to even this little dude has the measurement device built in. You don't need to buy another tool, more cables, an outboard processor, a different software that you got to open up, do the measurements, close that out, go in and enter the data. This is all done automatically with this. With a USB, comes with a little sound card in line into the computer, and away you go, and it does the automatic time measurement.
And for those of you at home, the microphone does have to be up like this, not
Correct.
standard. So it's made the whole process, it's going to be facing up like this.
Correct.
Which is a little bit different.
Yeah. So the other part is our new Tune EQ. So
Yes.
those of you who have known our stuff, we have set EQ mode, auto set mode, and Tune EQ. So set EQ is what typically everybody was using before for the automated measurement. And we have two boxes over here, Start Analyzer, Start Measurement. So Start Analyzer, when we click that, this red bar that you see up here, you play uncorrelated pink noise, turn up the system, and when you see this go green, you now have the right reference level. And then you grab this little dude here, and I don't know if on the resolution of your screens out in the world, you can see, oh, sorry. See that reference curve change?
Mm-hmm.
So you set this bar so it's green, so we're getting enough signal in to measure properly. Then you take this and adjust it so the reference curve, this is a target curve, some people refer to it. That is our target curve, but you can also go in and set your own target curve. So the idea of this is you could create the 5-star tune. And if you think about it, bands, if you go to a live concert, you see the big fat bearded guy behind the mixing board, and his job is to make sure that whatever band is there that he's working for sound the same in Florida as it does in Calgary as it does in Arizona. And that's not magic. There's a reason what, yeah, it is totally magic, but we're trying to make it unmagic. And this is what you need to explain to your clients as a dealer, is how easy this is, and you don't have to have the tuning czar in the shop to get things done. This processor, you can go and manually adjust anything that you want to manually adjust, but we also make it so an average dude can get the system to 95% of performance with an automated measurement by following the steps right here of our Tuning for Profit guide. So we've done a step-by-step.
Oh, it's just really bright.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah,
That's not going to work.
Yeah.
So it's a multi-page book.
Which this is online too, right? Or the process. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So, and then we've also created a playlist on Tidal, because in the back of this book, we've come up with a suggested listening and tell you what you should hear. If you're not hearing that, something's wrong. Time to go back and figure out what's wrong.
iTunes is high res now.
I know that.
We need to make a.
We,
Title's great.
We certainly
but I
will,
have
as long
that.
as they have our stuff on there.
Yeah. All right. Back.
So what you see here, if we click this magical little box called Tune EQ, you see, I'm going to put my old man glasses on.
I'm gonna go up to that corner.
The difference in this version of software is that we used to do this graphically and with bands and level only.
Okay.
So now, if you just want to try one band to try and get to your reference curve, you tell it use these bands. So user band 3 to 29, or the reason why we go 3 to 29 is we reserve the outside bands for our shelf filtering. And again, that's a whole nother discussion. But so let's say we have 29 bands to use for the equalization. So when we hit the start measurement and we take the microphone, now we're in the car, we're seated in the car.
Earplugs.
And we just go like this from ear to ear. And what's happening is you see this time box right here. For the 20-second time, we're taking snapshots of the frequency response from those different positions. Those of you who've done a lot of tuning, you get done and then you move your head an inch and it's like, oh, what happened there? So we're taking an average of all those positions to try and get the best average for the tune.
So it's like making an array.
Yes. Yeah, we're an inexpensive array.
Inexpensive array.
And you don't have to be a scientist to know how to make it all work and read the data. Now, if you want to make an array, if you want to use some of the amazing tuning stuff that is available, like the new JL Max is an amazing tuning measurement system. But our gig with this is use that and go in this manually. You can do anything you want, or
just do that.
It's production.
Yeah.
It's time to get going. If you're building competition car and you're going to dial it in, so it's
Well,
absolutely
the other
perfect.
thing too is that the
And wait.
consumer can pick up the mic and
Yes, yeah.
magically delicious.
Magically delicious. That's right.
Real quick, so when you're using use bands 3 through 29, one of the reasons why you can select that is for the DEQ process, right?
Well, this will tell TuneEQ how many bands is available for it to use to get it to the reference target curve.
Okay.
So if you say only use 5 bands, oh yeah, I see this. Dean, tell Larry about our auto sweep mic holder idea.
Oh,
Yes,
jeez.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Is
Yeah.
this like a 10 beer deep thing? or what's the deal?
No. So what we were talking about, we'll talk about it later.
All right.
Ask me at dinner.
Okay.
Ask me at dinner.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
this is confidential information.
No,
Only
I
if you're
don't
forbidden.
want to waste the time on that. I
Super
want to waste
secret
time on
squirrel
this.
stuff.
Yeah, so that's with that use band from here to here. So if you only pick 5 bands, it will only use 5 bands to try and achieve that reference curve.
Right.
So you can go in there and make it as accurate as you want or as broad as you want, just depending.
And
on
then you
what
have the
want
other bands that you can use
for other things.
for
yeah.
other things.
Yeah. So we can go in and tell it that we're and the way we recommend doing this, and a little bit different than everybody else's process, is to do the tweeters first, and then using this. Now the cool thing with this is you can go into this processor and say the big problem about yeah, he's the
He's
knuckle
snapping
cracker.
his
I know,
knuckles.
man.
He's the muscle man.
Okay.
So we can go in and tell the processor to automatically match the curve of the electrically chosen crossover slope.
Okay.
So when we get in a car, we're picking 12 dB or 18 dB and Butterworth, Linkwitz Riley, whatever we're doing. And inevitably, at that crossover point in the car at the listening position, there's phase issues. So everybody talks about phase EQ and all this other stuff. So Julian and Florian said, if we acoustically match the electrical curve, then we shouldn't have that phase issue. So in most part.
Right.
So you choose an 18 dB per octave crossover, you tell the software to go in and match the curve or the knuckle, if you will, of the high and low pass crossover. It will use all those bands to not only match the reference curve, but match the slope that you've chosen in the electrical part of your setup. So
And that's all automated.
that's all automated.
That's, I think, the key here, because you lost the. I'm sure people were like, it's automated. The
Yes.
key, automated.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then you can tell it the calculation of the deviation that you want. So you can go 1 dB, half dB, quarter dB, however accurate you want it to hit that reference curve.
So basically, the more bands you give it, the more accurate it can become
Absolutely.
towards that. But you are taking those up for your playtime afterwards.
No, because you can still do global EQ on the system afterwards.
Well, there you go.
So this is the automated process, and this is why we encourage even the most experienced tuner to use this, because instead of taking all the time to get to 95%, this will get you to 95%, and then go in and spend half the time getting it to your salt and pepper state that you want it at.
And I think the takeaway from all this, and one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to just touch on the software, is that even this little guy has all that built into it.
Correct.
So the one nice thing about Helix, Brax, Match is that you only have to learn one software. That's it. And
Correct.
all the products all use the same software. So that
Yeah.
makes life super
And if
sweet.
you've got a 10-year-old product, we still have developed software that brings it right up to date now. So once you get used to this workflow,
It sounds good. Leave it alone.
yeah, that's right. We have developed the software so as a user, you don't have to learn a whole new workflow. It's
Right.
like open it up, plug in the product, boom, it populates, puts the product's name on the top, populates the channels that it has, and away you go. So it's an amazing software, and 5.0 kind of takes it to the next level. From
Is
the
there
other
anything
two.
else you want to show 'em? I mean, I know there's tons of stuff we could show 'em, but
Yeah.
another little quick feature we could kind of touch on.
Yeah, I want to show you the FX tab because I think
Okay.
that's important.
Yes. FX tab.
So we're all hearing now
Ah,
about one seat tune, two seat tune, all pass filters, up mixing, and everybody's like, what does all this stuff mean? So basically, what we have designed in all of our processors that are ACO based, that's our chipset that we're using, ACO is what it's called. So that's basically everything except two amplifiers right now. This has the FX tab built into it. And what the FX tab allows you to do is the most important feature is right here called Real Center. So a quick history lesson, up mixing started way back in home theater stuff where 5.1 back in the day, they put on a DVD that was a discrete 5.1 recording and stuff was flying around and they're like, whoa, my home audio system is awesome. And
You
then
mean
they,
Laserdisc, by the way.
yeah,
not-
Laserdisc,
I was just
sure,
saying 5.1
sure.
would have been Laserdisc.
Showing your age now.
I still got mine.
Whoa. Oh, that's him. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Yeah,
So
he didn't
you still
one.
have your Laserdisc?
Well, of course.
Wow.
And my
he's
Laserdisc.
the guy. Yeah.
He's the
the
guy.
Yeah.
So then they put in a 2-channel CD and
Yeah, you
it'd
lose
just
all
be
that
two
surround
speakers and be
speakers.
like, what's going on? So Dolby and DTS both built algorithms that allowed to give you that surround immersive audio experience from a 2-channel recording. So the important thing here for everybody to understand is that a 5.1 recording, the producer of that album, movie soundtrack, whatever, said, I want this in the left channel, I want this in the center channel, I want this in the right channel, I want this in left surround, I want this in right surround, and this bass frequency is going to the subwoofer. And don't argue with them, because it's like telling an artist you use the wrong color. It's
pointless.
Yeah, it's pointless. You may be right, but it's pointless. So with a 2-channel recording, using an upmix signal, like Dolby called it Pro Logic, and we got Logic 7 from Harmony Group, were all great ideas in the home audio system. And if you look at most theaters, next time you go to a theater, have a look, get there early while the lights are still up. The speaker system from left, center, right, surrounds, all that stuff will be the same tonal balance, same power applied to it. So when that big spaceship is flying over you, that went to Top Gun, it was an IMAX theater, and the jets are flying around, you cannot tell whether that jet in the front or the back, it sounds the same. It's just flying over your head. So in a car audio system, typical 3-way, we've got tweet, mid-range, let's take a Porsche, tweet, mid-range, 8-inch woofer. Then we got 300 watts per channel applied to those. And then in the center of the Porsche, we got a little 70 mil, 80 mil driver for the center with 65, 70 watts. So now if somebody's rolling through the tom-tom drums, boom, 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 boom. Left channel is boom, 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 gets to the center channel, ping, 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 and then over to the right channel, boom, 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 boom again. So discrete recordings in a car can't happen because we can't make, I shouldn't say we can't, we don't make left, center, right speakers with the same tonal balance, with the same speaker, with the same amount of power, everything being the same. If we could, it would be awesome. So we came up with this upmixing, or the companies building for the OEMs came up with upmixing, where they take the common information from left and right channel, they extract it, so only left channel does left, right channel does right, and the center channel does center. But we have that problem still of the little mid-range driver. So we were looking at Dolby Dolby Pro Logic, or one of the many different algorithms available out there to license. And Florian said this doesn't work in the car, and he was trying it and playing with it. So he built his own, and it's called Real Center. So what we're doing is we're still taking that common information from left and right channel, but we're leaving it in the left and right still, and just having the center channel do the common information. So back in the old days when we were playing with center channels, it was just mixed mono.
Right.
It's like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's terrible. So now what this allows us to do is sit in the driver's seat and have a complete soundstage in front of us. And then we get into the 1-seat tune, 2-seat tune deal with all pass filters and everything else. Again, way too much time to take to explain all that. All I can tell you is we have all pass filters built into all of our processors, both on the input side to correct all pass filters from the factory that you don't want to use. Don't always recommend that, but we can do that.
Yep.
And we've got all pass filters on the output so we can recreate what the factory's recreated. I just want everybody to remember is that the OEM guys have way more money than we do, have a lot of engineering experience, have test equipment. Well, I shouldn't say that.
Sometimes
You
their
guys-
stuff doesn't suck.
Yeah, we're driving a Volvo S60, Sweden guy. Awesome job on that car, by the way, our rental car. And I got my phone, put on my playlist, and I'm like, oh my God, this is
Pretty good.
better than 50% of the aftermarket stuff I've heard for sure. And what we need to realize is they don't suck. Where they fall short is the OEMs are regulated by dollars. How much money can we spend on the system, and how much weight is it? They want both of those are big deals. So if we use their algorithms that they created for the signal and do the one in, one out channel routing, or use that's the only way to do it. I was going to say use a preamp. Now the cool thing is, if you use the preamp, like from Nav TV or Mobridge or PAC or wherever, we can recreate all that stuff on the output side, so you can make it like the factory system. So that's the real cool part of our software.
Yeah.
No matter which black box you're using, you can do it on all of it.
Perfect.
So that's the main thing on the software.
Well, like I said, you guys can download the software, play with it, have a little bit of fun. Well, heck, that takes us to a little past an hour.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
We could go another couple if you wanted to.
Is there any parting information you'd like to go? Anything you'd like to bestow upon them before we
I just, to those end users that are using our product, thank you very much. We appreciate you believing in our product and our culture. To those dealers that are using our product, thank you, because without you, we wouldn't be here, and that includes you guys. We're working really hard to do what we believe to be all the right things to support both the end user and our dealer base. So thanks to all of you. Those who aren't using our stuff, get out from under the rock, man. Come and try it out.
And if you'd like an opportunity to try it out for free, Chris at MS.
No,
remind him about the contest.
This is the contest.
So again, Chris at MSC-America.com. His nickname is the DSP Cowboy, and we need the best meme that you can come up with, or saying whatever you want to put that relates to DSP Cowboy. Send it to us, and we'll
got till Sunday. This Sunday, the
17th.
This Sunday, the 17th is the last. So if you're watching this after that, don't do it. But
please don't, because we have to actually get back to work on Monday and answer emails from our dealers and tech support and all that stuff.
Give this guy a good week. Just tease memes. Give him memes. All right. So if you don't know, you don't know.
That's right.
All right. So we'll get rid of that. See, we've wore Larry out. We've killed his throat.
I'm from a dry, cool place, and I came here to Florida, and I got off the plane, and I went, oh my God, I had to take a shower to dry off. It's crazy.
Wet blanket.
So my sinuses and everything are messed up.
You gotta do Zyrtec all day long.
Oh, is that's the answer?
Zyrtec. Yes,
Okay.
you have to live off of Zyrtec.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have some?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it's a drug deal. You gotta calm that down.
I think I do. Oh wait, no, I used all mine for vacation.
Oh, really?
I took the bottle and emptied it, and I used every pill I had. All right, guys. Well, that's it for now. Thank you guys so much, both of you, for coming on. Bodyguard and Larry.
I just want to take 2 more seconds and
take
thank our team in the Arizona office and the Calgary office and Dustin in Atlanta. These guys work tirelessly to build our company, and I respect each and every one of them for working so hard. And the other supporters that we have out there, I see Corey Valancourt sending us some messages. He's a killer dealer for us in Canada. So don't let that go to your head, Corey. I'm just saying that. Just so there is Car Audio Dad. Don't send emails to me about Car Audio Dad memes, okay?
That's a good way to lose.
Yeah, if I cross-reference DSP Cowboy to Car Audio Dad, there's going to be some problems. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting these guys live stream. It's awesome. We thank you for everything.
No, thank you. And as I said, thank you guys for watching tonight, taking your Thursday and spending it with us. I just got back from vacation where I am very tired, so we're going to end it there. You guys have a great week. Don't forget to tune in Friday morning at 9 o'clock on Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips for the news. We got a bunch because we were off for a week, so there's going to be a bunch of news to hit. And, of course, 6 o'clock Saturday, as usual, on this here 5-Star Network. You can join in, and we'll answer all your questions, and we'll have, as Fred Flintstone says, a gay old time. You guys have a great night, as always, and we'll see you later next time. Fernando.
Bye.
All right, guys. See you.
Ciao, guys.